And I got one call one morning that said, we've got to get you back on the red eye to Washington, D.C. We're just concerned because all the right to replies are going out tomorrow to all the people who've been involved in this documentary. And they're going to know at this point they've been rumbled. They're going to know it's you. It doesn't take much for them to go, oh, fuck, he's not who he says he is. You know, he's been, you know, and you're going to feel like shit. But also these friendships, which you've been nurturing for the best part of a year, are done. That's it. So, you know, these calls to Charlie Sly of, hey, you know, my dad's got X, Y, and Z. Can you help with this? Yeah, no problem. He needs to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, my friend's got this. Can you help? Yeah. They're all done.
This is the classic
They're done.
cover life of, like, you know, being in the mob and you became part of it. So
I'm part of it. I'm living with it. And then I've got to, like, right now they're going to know. So they're going to be pissed. And we don't know what replies we're going to get. These people will all have the right to reply legally. And they can deny what's being said, or they can aggressively attack us, or they can hire lawyers or whatever, but we have to legally give them the right. And you need a second source. You need a second source in documentary filmmaking. So just because our guy Charlie Sly had been saying, oh yeah, Peyton Manning's been coming in and doing all this stuff, you know what I mean? You need someone else to confirm that, and we didn't have a second source. But when the letters went out, Peyton Manning, unfortunately for him, got back and said, oh yeah, I did. Yes, that's right. He didn't deny. He went, yes, my wife has been receiving growth hormone. And yes, everywhere. All right, so it's been shipped all around the country to everywhere where you've been playing. Well, you were taking it back on the airplane for her. How kind of you, Peyton. Nice one. Maybe it was for you. You know, the fact that you broke your neck, but yeah, we don't know. Like, you know, we don't know. I can't prove that he was, and so you know, I was just the guy who, and we can't prove that Charlie Sly was telling the truth. But the fact that Peyton said, yes, I did receive growth hormone, but it was for my wife, was like, oh, he's just shot himself in the foot. Because if he just said nothing, we wouldn't have had a second source as such. You know what I mean? Like, he is our second source. He's just told us that yes, he was receiving growth hormone. So now, the team with their great lawyers are able to go forward and go, yeah, we now know because you've just admitted it. And you know, I think he didn't know, which he probably thought we had a lot more evidence than we did. And a lot of the athletes in there thought that it was a witch hunt, thought that we'd set out to target them, which was totally untrue. We'd set out to actually find out what the Jamaicans were taking and trying to find out what athletes were taking. And the road had led us to Peyton and all these others, but there'd never been a hunt to find any particular athletes. It's certainly not from my point of view, or anyone's, because I didn't know who these people were. You know, and I certainly had no interest, and quite frankly, not many of the American public had an interest as to whether any American footballers were taking steroids, because I think they just want to see the gladiators in the arena. It's like
at some point, like there's a feeling now, like this talks about the UFC, because there's like, was it ideas that everyone's on it, and
no one cares.
At some level, people are like, if they're all fucking dudes.
No one cares. It's 11 when everyone's on it anyway. It's a level playing field. But I was hoping to be part of the evolution of the debate of, look, we can accept that everyone's doing this, but how do we help the sport? How do we help the athletes do this in a safer manner? Like, they should be getting blood tests, blood work regularly to check their lipid profile and their endocrine profile, their hormone profile, to see, are they doing this healthy? They shouldn't be going to clinics or gyms and picking up growth hormone. They don't know where it's from. They don't know the sources, picking up peptides. They don't know where they're from. They could be from China. They could be from someone's lab making it in his back room. This is all so unregulated and untalked about. I was hoping that I might be instrumental in moving the debate towards something we could talk about but instead it just became an interesting and very topical and popular debate over, is Peyton Manning, has he been using performance enhancing drugs in order to perform at the best of his career? Me personally, I have no judgment over anyone, because it's like, he was in a position, if he did, which he might have done, he was in a position where the guy broke his neck and went, right, you're finished, you're out of the game. You'll never do what you want to do again. And it's like me saying, oh, you're finished, you can never do what you want. You love performing, you can never do it again. Unless we put this into your IV and you help us with some stem cells. Is it illegal? It's not against the rules, but it's actually against FDA regulations. Like, you're not allowed to do this. You're supposed to be doing this in Panama, but we're going to do it here in Indianapolis. Okay, so it's not against no, it's not against the sporting. Well, fucking do it. Get it in me. It's the most amazing thing you can ever do is stem cells, and it's phenomenal. Like, it's so expensive, but it's phenomenal. If we could all access stem cells, we would, and harvest them from a young age, we'd all be able to cure our own diseases. So this guy was doing what was effective, and he was like, "Is it healthy? Yes, it's healthy. Okay, so it's healthy, it's effective. Okay, is it? What about other stuff? Well, let's put in a bit of growth hormone. Is it against the rules? Yeah, but they don't test for it. If they don't test for it, fuck it, get it in there. So I can't be found out. Is it going to do me is it going to cause me to have any problems? No, it's going to cause you to rewind the clock. It's going to make you youthful. This is what we give older patients so they can, have a more active lifestyle. Okay, and so when you, as someone, if you weigh this up in your mind and you go, so I'm never going to get found out. It's going to be healthy. I'm going to have possibly the best season of my life. And
there's also, and everyone else is doing it.
And everyone else is doing it. And it doesn't cost hardly anything because I'm multimillionaire. And you start to go, yeah, fuck it, let's get on with it. Who gives a fuck? But then when it comes down to, but it's against the sportsmanship. And you go, well, yes, it absolutely is. And there are rules in sport for a reason, to try and create a level playing field so everyone can play fair. But unfortunately, as I realized, and I thought I would realize, that the people at the top don't play fair. And the people at the top, many of them are at the top because they're not living by that set of rules. They're living by the set of rules of, I want to be the best, and I understand that you want to play fair, but I don't give a fuck if you want to play fair. That's why you're going to lose. Because you're trying to play fair in a world where we're playing to win, and you're against people who are playing for world records, and you're against poverty, where some guy, if he wins, he's funding schools and villages in his entire city. His agenda is slightly different to your middle class, well-structured moral compass. I mean, well done on you for having a moral compass, but fuck off. We're here to win. And you go, wow, it really is, that's how it goes. You're up against people who, having a moral compass, who gives a fuck? It's like being in crime. It's like, oh, so you pay your taxes. Nice one. You're up against people who know how to work out derivatives and offshore accounts because they're billionaires and they'll never intend on paying any taxes. In fact, they're exempt from taxes. But well done you on paying yours. You go, it's not a fair game. And when you understand how the elites live and work, it isn't fair. And that's why I was so happy to take away the intel to go, okay, fair enough. I got what I wanted, which was I have a file, which is I've been able to help people. I've been able to help people. I wasn't able to go on. I don't even know to this day if I'm able to go on camera. This is the first podcast I've ever done, by the way, on this topic.
Right.
Because I had to sign things to say, I'm not going to talk about blah, 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 blah. But they've now dropped the cases. The people who are suing me and suing Algeria, the cases have been dropped. And I personally think this should be discussed.